Have you ever asked yourself, what if this video game character was a Pokemon trainer? And what Pokemon would they have in their party? I got this idea from years ago when back on DeviantArt I would take anime characters and pair them up with a Pokemon that was best suited to their abilities, personality, and design. And then I decided why not do the same for video game characters, but this time the full party. So now I'm going to take it a step farther and design video game characters as Pokemon trainers. So I'm going to start with Nintendo characters, and of course the first one I'm going to do is Mario, because the game where a plumber jumps a lot apparently is the most popular one. So I first wanted Mario to have a jacket, which is a big thing with male Pokemon trainers. I thought he should also have a hoodie. I was originally thinking for him to have overalls with straps going down his shirt, like he originally does, but I thought it would be better to make the straps on his hoodies look like the straps from his overalls. The art program I use is Clip Studio Paint. It's nice because you can make vector layers, and then you can move the points between your strokes to make the curves easier to make, instead of doing it like a bazillion times, trying to get the right stroke. I originally wanted to put a yellow cape on him, being a reference to one of the previous Mario games, but it would seem weird for a Pokemon trainer to have a cape, so I thought, why not just make his hoodie yellow? Since it's pretty much incredibly common for a Pokemon trainer to have a hat on, I decided to keep Mario's regular hat, but change it up just a little bit. His hat is now a mixture of his regular hat and Red's hat. I also found a clever way to make his M on his hat also resemble a Pokeball. I decided that his torso would be red, where his sleeves would be a different color, being blue. This is a reference to his original design and the fact that I wanted red to be the main focus on Mario's body. Now, since Mario is a Pokemon trainer now, I would think he would need a bag to hold his items, but you wouldn't be able to see that from the front, so I thought it would be more fitting for a plumber to have some sort of bag in his front, kind of like a pouch for tools and stuff. I put a yellow pouch on his side and added a little string with a little ornament at the bottom. It's a reference to the flood from Mario Sunshine, by the way. I also added the belt from Super Mario Sunshine as well. I had a tough time deciding what Mario's pants should be. At first I thought they should be long and baggy, then I thought maybe it could be like short pants, like his Mario Strikers pants, or maybe something closely resembling his original pants, or maybe based off another Pokemon trainer's pants. I decided to just settle on short pants, just to show he's young and like a Pokemon trainer. And someone in the stream I was doing also requested to put M on the belt, so I was like, why not? I also added Mario's white gloves, but changed them a little bit. I made the gloves fingerless to be kind of similar to a lot of the Pokemon trainers like Ash's gloves, and I also added some pockets on Mario's shirt, because you know, he's a worker. And lastly are his shoes. I was thinking maybe to make them boots, but I thought, why not go with sneakers? They're stylish and shows he's pretty young and he's wore them before, in some of the bazillion spin-offs he's had. One last thing is I did make his pants striped to be a reference to Mario Strikers, and I did the same thing for his sleeves to put a little bit of texture, you know? Now we're finally done with Mario. So since Mario is a Pokemon trainer, he should have a party of 6 Pokemon. And the 6 Pokemon he will have will be based off his design, personality, and abilities. Also forgive me if I can't pronounce the Pokemon's names in advance. I mean, cut me some slack, there's literally like 800 of these things. So the first Pokemon I chose Mario to have was Fungus. This Pokemon obviously fits because it's a mushroom, and what does Mario eat in pretty much most of the games? Mushroom. So for the next Pokemon, I decided that it would be based off his main game mechanic, the main thing Mario does, and that's jumping. He was known as Jumpman for a while, I believe, so I thought of a Pokemon that would do a lot of jumping. I originally thought Spoink because he bounces a lot, but it's not exactly the same as Mario who jumps on 2 feet. So I thought the best Pokemon suited for this would be Bunnelby. Also, as a side note, just because it's a pre-evolution doesn't mean it's weak. I mean, we all see how strong Pikachu is. For the next Pokemon, I think it needs to be based on his ability to shoot fire from the fire flowers, as well as the ability to fly like he does in a lot of the games. The Pokemon I was originally going to choose was going to be Volcarona, I think that's how you say it, because it looks like a fire flower, it flies, it has fire ability, but I felt like it didn't really fit Mario that well, so I thought an even better Pokemon would be Charizard. He has fire, he flies, and he's kind of a reference to Bowser, who's kind of like his enemy, even though I'm only basing off Mario's abilities, but he can also be a reference to Yoshi, who he rides frequently, and has a close relation to Yoshi when he was an infant. I was thinking the next Pokemon would be Gurgur, because he's kind of like a reference to the original Donkey Kong. Get it? Because he has that red metal thing. But I thought a better choice would be Blastoise, as he's kind of a reference to Flood. Get it? Because of the Hydro Pumps? And someone in my stream pointed out a Pokemon that looked exactly like Mario, Probopass. He's red and blue, has red on the top, has a giant mustache and blue eyes. Come on, it fits so well. And look at that nose. It's so big. And the last Pokemon that I thought would fit really well for Mario would be a Pokemon representing the invincibility power-up star, which I chose the mythical Pokemon Jirachi to represent for that. And that's his full team. I hope you like the choices I made. I think it fits really well. It's a lot different than my previous choices, that's for sure. The next video game character I decided to make a Pokemon trainer was Link. Specifically Adult Link, because there's a whole bunch of Links. So when I was designing Link, I tried to find a way to modernize him. It was hard to do it with that whole skirt thing, I guess you could call it. I thought a way to do this is that maybe I could have him have like 2 shirts. Originally it was like 3, but I was like, that's way too warm. And the second shirt would go beneath his coat, and it would kind of hang like a skirt, kind of. I made it kind of diagonal going inwards to make it a little bit cooler, I guess. I also gave him a bag. The reason I did this was because originally I wanted it to look like a Hylian shield, but that would have been on his back, so I thought, hey, why not just put it on his side? And I also designed the bag like the Hylian shield, which he's used in a lot of the games. So when I was designing the pants, I was originally going to make it look like his regular pants from a few other games, where his long pants kind of gets like tucked in to his boots. And his boots were going to look kind of like the boots from the main character from Pokemon Coliseum, but I decided, you know what, long pants would look a lot better. I decided to make the pants tan and make the shirts green to kind of be a reference to his original color scheme. I decided to make the boots a little bit more like his original boots as well. As for his shirts, I decided for it to be kind of like a jacket on top of lawn sleeves, because once again, jackets are pretty popular among Pokemon trainers, the male ones anyway. I was thinking the long sleeves could be maybe white or tan, but I thought just another shade of green would look good. Hope that was okay. And I gave him a hoodie. This is because trying to give him like a hat was kind of a hard thing to do. It just wouldn't really look modern, to be honest, but I thought, hey, why not just make it look like a hoodie? I always wanted to do that. Thought a Zelda game could probably do that if they ever modernized him. Now for his hair. I was kind of having a tough time to decide what the hairstyle should be, since he has various hairstyles. So I eventually thought to just kind of mix them all, while also considering the Pokemon art style. Kind of got bangs, a Twilight Princess slash Skyward Swordish slash kind of hair, I guess. I don't know, it's a mixture of everything. You got kind of like the pointy thing from Link to the Past. His hair goes around his head on his right side, like Ocarina of Time. I hope you like it anyway. I think it looks pretty cool. I decided to also make the collar look like the collar from Ocarina of Time. I also tried originally giving him like a collar based off the original Link, but he wasn't really Adult Link. It was kind of hard to fit 3 shirts. Anyway. And I also gave him some gloves, which, as you can see, are kind of fingerless as well. So I think he's already had that type of design in previous games, so it fits in both Pokemon and Zelda universe. I also thought on the various faces he could have. Originally it was like a determined face, then it was like a happy or a cocky face. Eventually I kind of went more on a calmish kind of face, I guess. Eventually I just went with a calm, happy kind of face. I also put some yellow around his jacket to kind of mimic some of the art styles of previous games as well. And then when designing the coat, I decided to give him the Breath of the Wild design on his coat, with a white I thought it fit really well. And for his undershirt, I kind of gave like a Koriki. And for his undershirt, I gave him like a Koriki kind of design. I thought it fit really well because it was based off of Ocarina of Time, with a red and stylish kind of feel to it. And there you have it. For Link's Pokemon, I thought the first choice for me would obviously be Scyther. He's green, and he has Blaze for a weapon. It fits perfectly in my opinion. As for Link's next Pokemon, I think it was pretty obvious that it had to be Aegislash. Now, Honedge, its pre-evolution, looks a lot like the inverted colors of the Master Sword, and even has like a blue scarf similar to Hyrule Warriors Link. Though Aegislash has a shield on him, and the shield has been an important item to Link since the first game, and has pretty much appeared in every game since. His next Pokemon is Desudai. Link is a skilled archer after all, and the owl's head does look a lot similar to Link's hat and his hoodie in Breath of the Wild. And the fourth Pokemon was kind of a tough choice. I wanted it to be a horse Pokemon, be a reference to Epona, and Link is known as a horse rider in a lot of the games. So I thought Mudsdale would be a perfect Pokemon for him, since he got kind of a brown color scheme, but I thought Rapidash would be a better choice as it's more feminine and Epona is usually the horse he rides. And as for the next Pokemon, I decided it would be Lycanroc. I hope I'm saying that right. It is a reference to Link having the spirit of a wolf in Twilight Princess. I thought Houndoom or Maiyana would be better choices, but this Pokemon is brown with blue eyes just like Link, and even has a very fierce glare to him. It has like a night transformation. And the last Pokemon I thought that would really fit Link is Ho-Ho. Link deserves a legendary Pokemon, as Ho-Ho looks like the crimson red Loftwing that Link rides throughout Skyward Sword. So the next video game character I'm going to make a Pokemon trainer is Samus Iran. She's the first one to actually have a last name. For Samus, I decided to base her pants off the pants from Metroid Fusion, as well as Zero Mission, which is pretty much just really short pants, and really tight pants as well. It's supposed to be very elastic from what it looks like. I wouldn't know, I'm not a space battling hunter. I was originally thinking about just giving her boots like in the games, but I thought that was a little bit too easy. So instead I decided to give her stockings, and base her shoes off the ones from Super Smash Bros. 4. I was thinking what her shirt should be like. I could have easily just based it off the normal design she gets for her Zero suit, but I thought that was a little bit too easy. I wanted to base the design off her suit she uses in battle, so I decided to incorporate that into her design. The lower half of her shirt is meant to be blue, reference to the Zero suit. It also has 3 lines being a reference to it, as well as some of the previous designs. And the top is meant to reference her suit. The shoulders are orange like the suit, and the middle is red just like her helmet, and kind of has like a chest hole that kind of looks like the mask. One thing that I forgot to add into the last second was there was supposed to be kind of like this, I don't know the word for it, like a stretchy bracelet around her arm that would have been elastic. It's kind of meant to be a reference to the fact she kind of has like a gun on her arm through most of the games. I told myself not to forget that many times, and I still did. Anyway, for the head, the design's pretty similar to her Zero suit design, but Samus is often quite looking serious, and in a few of the games design she looks pretty happy, so I decided to go with that. She's not always just unhappy, she has a soft side and a happy side. I decided to make her eyes very similar to the normal Pokemon style, so they're a bit bigger than usual, but I still give her kind of the tarnished lips. And I was debating to put the mold that she gets from Other M, which also made in the Super Smash Bros. Games, but I decided, I don't feel like putting just a dot. One thing to know is that her hair is actually tied up in a bun, and this is because not only do I want to make Samus look more outgoing compared to her usual self, but I also want her to base off a Pokemon trainer from one of the games, and I decided to base the bun off the swimmer from Gen 4. She has a blue swimsuit just like her. Well, she doesn't fight aliens with it. Then again, there's Deoxys and such. Going back to her shoes, I couldn't just take the design from Super Smash Bros. And just put it into this design, it just would look too uncommon. So I decided to take half the design for the shoes and base it off the beauty trainer from Gen 6. And lastly, we have the sunglasses. I was originally going to have these be goggles, but I just didn't feel like they would fit well. And I didn't want to have something on Samus's head, as I felt like having it on her head would be kind of weird for Samus, I don't know why. So I decided to just make them sunglasses, a reference to her mask, or helmet. Get it? It's red, it has green glass on it, and it has black to the sides. Now for the colors, and I decided to make her shorts orange, being a reference to Zero Mission. I decided to make the stockings blue because the boots are blue. Though I remembered that I wanted to base this both off the suit and when she's outside the suit, so I kind of gave the shorts and the stockings 2 colors. The insides of the shorts and stockings are yellow to be a reference to the lower half of her armor being yellow. Someone in my stream's chat also said it reminded them of the Metroid Fusion design, and that worked out really well then. Now one thing you'll notice is that her shirt has a lot of green. I didn't really like that, as I don't want too many colors to happen at once. So I decided to make the green on the blue area, that was originally a reference to her helmet, dark blue being a reference to her Zero suit. I decided to make the top green orange. Another thing is that, according to my research, Samus's eyes have always been blue, but since Other M, just like the same case with the mole, they've been changed to green. I didn't really know which eye color to give her, so I just decided to mix it and give her like a cyan eye color. So for Samus's first Pokemon, I thought it would be Clawitzer, because it has a giant arm, and Samus's signature weapon is pretty much her arm to shoot things. Another signature weapon of Samus are her torpedoes, and Sharpedo would be a good representation of that. Now, it would make sense if Samus had an Ultra Beast as they're from space. I thought a good Pokemon for this would either be Buzzwole or Pheromosa. Now Buzzwole has the look and body shape of Samus when she's in her armor, but I think Pheromosa has her personality and femininity. Think about it now, I don't think Samus usually attacks with her fist, so I thought Pheromosa would be a better choice, okay? But she does use fist, another M. Well, I was thinking for the next Pokemon it could be a representation of the Metroids, because that's not only her main ongoing enemy, but she gets a connection to one of them, and even becomes her Sue in one of the games, so I think it's very fitting. Then it's the title of the game. So I was thinking to add Araquanid, and I was also thinking to add Mandibuzz because they look like Chozo, which raised Samus. But I thought that wasn't a great choice anymore, or at least not as good as Buzzwole, so I decided to switch him with him. And someone in the stream told me a better suggestion than Araquanid. I think that's how you say it, I don't know. The evolution of Solosis looks way more than a Metroid and even has the properties of a Metroid compared to the other bug Pokemon. So I decided the new Pokemon would be this one, Reuniclus. And after adding those Pokemon, I decided her last Pokemon would be Sandshrew, because it rolls up into a ball just like Samus. And it's cute. Samus loves cute animals, seriously, it's adorable. But I thought that wasn't really much of a good choice, and I thought I needed to get a Pokemon that can only be a ball, but can also make bombs, just like she does in the game. So I finally decided on Voltorb. I also thought Voltorb's personality matched that of Samus more than Electro, which is a little bit too giddy and happy. So the next video game character we're going to make a Pokemon trainer is going to be a very popular video game character within Nintendo. Those are the characters I'm focusing on in this particular video. And the next character will be Starfox, Fox McCloud. So Fox was probably my most difficult character to draw because I haven't drawn characters like Fox. Anamorphic, anamorphic animals, half animal, half human. I haven't drawn them too regularly. And since this was the first time I drew Fox, it was a little bit hard to get the proportions perfectly right. So it took a while for me to get the rough draft of the head right, but I eventually got it. I decided to give him goggles, kind of like similar to Samus, but I decided to instead give him sunglasses, because that was more outdoorish, and it could be a reference to his father, James McCloud, who wore sunglasses. Trying to draw Fox's eyes right were a little bit difficult because he has so many different designs of eyes throughout the series, and once again, first time drawing Fox. I decided to give him a coat, but decided to make it like his regular suit for when he's in his Arwing, so it's gray and kind of has stripes based off previous designs I've seen. I also decided to give him like a little bit green in some places, being a reference to Command, and the undershirt is meant to be a reference to his Assault design. I was debating whether or not to give him his red scarf, but I decided, it looks cool and somewhat Pokemon trainer-ish, so let's keep it. It's a part of who he was. I was originally envisioning that the back of the scarf would like flow in the wind, but I decided not to do that. I decided to keep the pants still green like his regular design, just not his full design, otherwise it would look like he's in a pilot suit when he's supposed to be kind of outgoing in this design. Also kept his regular belt, didn't give him like 4 triangles like in some of the other designs though. Gave him his puffy tail. To be a little bit more outgoing, I decided to give him sneakers instead of boots. It's a mixture of white as well as having a bit of red to be a reference to Star Fox's Ult and the Super Smash Bros. Brawl design of the shoes. For the gloves, I decided to base them off Star Fox Zero's design as they were pretty creative, but I decided to make his gloves fingerless as well to make it more Pokemonish, I guess. I don't know, I think that's becoming too much of a thing with this video. Next Pokemon video, I'll try to stop doing that too often. And there we have it. Fox McCloud is a Pokemon trainer. So Fox is Fox. So he's probably going to have Fox Pokemon. So easily the first Pokemon that would be a Fox Pokemon is Ninetales, which are based off Kitsune, and it kind of looks like the logo that they have for Starfox. For the next Pokemon, I chose Delphox because, well, guess what, it's a fox. I also chose Arcanine as the third Pokemon because not only does it look like Fox, it even has the same type of white hair, and even though it evolves from a puppy Pokemon, foxes are technically more related to dogs than cats. Now one of the sinister things about Fox is he pilots his Arwing. He can also become a walker that walks on 2 feet in some of the games too. And the Pokemon that can represent that is Skarmory. It flies, it's made out of metal, it walks in 2 feet, and its head even looks like an Arwing. Now this next choice is probably going to get some people confused at first, but I'll explain. I have good reasons for this next Pokemon. The next Pokemon I chose to be Fox's Pokemon was Artillery. Wait, Abby, that Pokemon looks nothing like a fox and it doesn't fly. Yes, that's true. but if you knew of Octillery's origins, this would make a lot more sense. Recently, info on the beta for Gen 2, which is where this Pokemon originates from, was released. And according to this information, the pre-evolution Remoraid was originally going to look like a gun, and Octillery was going to look like a tank. Remoraid was probably based off the Remington gun, and Octillery is meant to sound like the word artillery, with an A. So Octillery is really the tank Pokemon. And what does Fox use? The Landmaster, which is pretty much a tank. I was also thinking of including the pre-evolution because it looks like a gun, and Starfox uses the gun in Starfox Assault, but that'd be a bit much. And for the last Pokemon, this one was the hardest one to decide on, is Zeraora. Because come on, it looks like a Starfox character. Like if Fox got electrocuted and somehow became this. Not only that, but it comes from a game about Ultra Space, and Fox is from space. And those are my Pokemon for Fox. So next I want to do a girly Pokemon trainer all of a sudden. So the next video game character will be Princess Peach. For Peach's shirt, I decided to make a combination of all her other designs and combine it into one. I took a regular design, her design from Super Mario Sunshine, her designs from Super Mario Strikers, her design from Ices, and her swimsuit design, and kind of combined it into all just one giant shirt. Well, it's not giant. I decided she would have like a cute miniskirt because that's pretty common for female Pokemon trainers. I mostly was inspired by the Gen 6 female Pokemon trainer for this skirt. The color scheme I gave it was a combination of aces and strikers. I tried to put in some flowery design in it from the Super Smash Bros. Series. Very detailed white around it, but I decided not to do it because it's supposed to be simple. It's a Pokemon design. I decided to give her a scarf like the scarves from Gen 4, which is the same color as her collar from the original design, and also has a Pokeball symbol on it. I decided to keep the giant blue jewel on her chest as well. This is pretty. Wait, does that make sense? Whatever, I'm keeping that in. Her head design is pretty simple. I decided not to give her like a Pokemon hat since she already has a crown. I was debating whether to give her her traditional long hair or to give her a ponytail, and it somehow ended up being a combination of both. I think it's creative. Lastly were her shoes, and I decided to give her the same shoes from Aces. I thought they fitted really well, since this design is meant to look pretty outgoing. I also decided to give her socks from Strikers. Thought they fitted really well. I was thinking to make the laces maybe like bow ties, which I thought would have been really cute, but I decided not to do that and just decided to give her laces. So an obvious Pokemon for Peach I think that would fit her really well is Shiinotic, as it's from a mushroom evolution, and it looks like a parasol like Perry. So for our next Pokemon, I thought it would be based off one of her signature attacks. So I tried thinking of a Pokemon that would be a Radish, and Oddish would fit that description. But it's kind of a pre-evolution Pokemon, so I thought an evolved one would be better suited, either Vileplume or Ballosum. And so in the stream pointing out that Ballosum danced to attack their enemies, just like Peach's dances for her final smash in Super Smash Bros. So I chose Ballosum instead. So another idea for a Radish type Pokemon would be Bounsweet, as it looks kinda like a Radish, but once again it's kind of a pre-evolution. So I finally decided on Serina. At first I thought her personality was a little bit too sassy, but she's a very woman-like Pokemon. And she has a crown on her head just like Peach. The next Pokemon I wanted to do was Lovetis, because you know, pink hearts fits Peach perfectly. But I thought a much better decision was Frillish, as it has a crown and it looks like it has a dress, so it's like a princess Pokemon. I was never a big fan of its evolution. Another Princess X Pokemon that really fits Peach as well is Garbodor. Do I really need to explain? Has a dress like her, and has a very gentle nature, so I guess the natures of Pokemons technically change. And for Peach's last Pokemon, it's one that's even referred to as the Stone Princess. That's Deoncé, or Deoncé. What fits even more is that someone pointed out in my stream that in official Pokemon art that's meant to parody the original art for Super Mario Bros., Pokemon were switched with other characters and Peach was switched with Deoncé. So yeah, those are our Pokemon. And now for our last video game character, and that character is Kirby. Wait. This one's gonna be tough to make a Pokemon trainer, seeing as Kirby doesn't wear too many clothes and he already kind of looks like a Pokemon. Not gonna lie, I was thinking a lot of designs for Kirby, but it just didn't feel like a lot of them were sticking. Kirby's just way too simple. But then I remember in Super Smash Bros. Brawl, Kirby can take the abilities of his opponents. So I was like, wait, maybe he can suck the Pokemon trainer and can take his ability from him and look like a Pokemon trainer. But then I remembered Kirby only sucks the Pokemon from the Pokemon trainer, not the Pokemon trainer himself. But if he did, it would probably just be him with the Pokemon hat. So I decided to take a little bit more inspiration from the Pokemon trainer from Super Smash Bros. Brawl. I decided to give him the Pokemon trainer's shoes, but made them a bit more round to fit Kirby. Gave Kirby the armbands that the trainer has for some reason. And of course gave him the signature hat. Another thing I wanted to do was give him a bag, though you can't really see it from this angle, so I just gave him some straps on the side. And just like that, yeah, it's finished. Yep, that's Kirby for you. An obvious Pokemon for Kirby would be Jigglypuff. They're both balloons, pink, and round. Back then I used to think that Jigglypuff was a clone of Kirby mainly. Now Kirby is known for eating a lot, so I thought either Munchlax or Snorlax would be good choices for Kirby. I was kind of having a tough time deciding which of the two. Munchlax looks a lot more like Kirby and walks a lot more faster like Kirby too, but Snorlax is more rounder, but way more heavier and slower than Kirby. I decided to just go with Snorlax. Kirby is known for sleeping as well after all. Now as I said, Kirby obviously loves food, and Cherubi, which is a cherry Pokemon, would be a great choice. Another great choice would be Vanillux, the ice cream Pokemon. I love this Pokemon, by the way. Now Kirby likes strawberry shortcake, so I guess ice cream and cherries are good substitutes. Another food Pokemon is Slurpuff, which is based off meringue or something like that. I thought it would be cotton candy like Swirlix, but it's not. Though I don't think Kirby's party should be made up of 3 Pokemon based off food. Maybe 2, but not 3. So I decided to just replace it with Cherrium, I guess. Gives us more of the Kirby than just him eating food. And one of those things is taking abilities from other opponents. Something Kirby is known for. I thought the Pokemon best fitting for that would be Kikilian. In case you don't know, Kikilian can become the type of any move that hits it. And lastly, I want a Pokemon based off the move Transform, which would either be Ditto, and I thought maybe Smeargle, which has Sketch, will also work too. But I thought the Pokemon that best defines Kirby would be Mew, as it's pretty much pink and a legendary Pokemon, or mythical Pokemon. They can't change that in the West. And that's Kirby's full team. And with that, those are all the Pokemon trainers I decided to make for this video. We have Mario, Link, Samus, Fox, Peach, and Kirby. Hopefully you like the choices I made for the Pokemon, but if you think you have some different ideas, then let me know in the comments. If this video does really well and gets lots of comments, then I'll make a second part to it. If there are other video game characters you want me to do, or any other type of characters, or any improvements you want with the video, then let me know in the comments. I would feel very thankful if you supported me on Patreon, and you get lots of benefits as well. You can see my most recent video and other videos in my playlist. Watching them helps a lot, so thanks if you do that, and see you later everyone.